Hello, so this is my first post on this channel. Now, I call this channel My Thoughts, and it's because sometimes in life you have a thought or thoughts, and you're like, let me come and share it, see if anyone has the same thoughts that I have. And it's the perfect timing, I think, has come for me to post this video. I've had this channel now for about a year with nothing. I haven't posted anything because I had to gather myself to say, do I want to go here? Is this a channel to grow, to for people to come and listen to, when it's only going to be occasional post, if you get what I'm saying? And in order to gather subscribers, following, likes, all that, you have to be consistent. But I was like, enough of that. I'm just gonna speak how I speak. If anything comes of it, anyone subscribe to listen, give their thoughts in the comments, then that's fine. We'll just go at it like that. And then this is a perfect, what do you call this? Not banner, the backdrop. This is just a perfect thing because what I'm about to say is shocking, and it has to do racism, on my point of view, how I came about knowing about race, and everything like that. So it's going to be touchy feely because I'm going to say some stuff that people are not going to like, and it is what it is. Again, this is my thoughts. And these thoughts, it's not going to be like personal, like my life, if you get what I'm saying. Basically, what it is, it's going to be whatever I see on social media or in the news. And I'm like baffled and, just need somewhere to speak on it to get others' opinion. So, like I said, I wanted to start out with racism. So, I'm originally from Jamaica. I was born in Jamaica. So you might detect an accent, and I might go in and out of dialect. And at a young age, like around, my mom said I was a baby, I would travel back and forth to America from Jamaica. And my grandmother at the time, she was doing housekeeping, private housekeeping. So she was working for a white lady. Her name was Mrs. Gale. Very nice lady. Always treated us like we were family, because my grandmother was with her for a while. How she met my grandmother, I'm not sure, but my grandmother turned to, cleaning her home and everything like that. And when I would visit my grandmother at a older age, like around 9 or 10, some days she would take me to work with her because Gail wasn't there, and it's just like company for grandma to get me out of the house. And I would go, and some days, 1 and 2 times, Gail might stop by, and I'm there, and offer me food, everything like that. She's like, anything in the fridge, take it. I remember that she had 2 sons. I can't remember the names. Nice boys, same thing. Open arm, came in, everything. I remember they had a water bed. One of the sons had a water bed, and I loved sleeping on the water bed. So that was my first introduction to someone who's not black. But guess what? I did not know what color they were, because Jamaica is a predominantly black country. So at that time, I don't remember growing up seeing anyone, as I said, at that young age. But yes, go back and forth with Gail, open arms. Grandmother loved her, everything, felt welcome around her. Did not know what race she was, because again, I knew she was different, but didn't know. So grew up in Jamaica to the point where around what, 10, 11, 12, we moved to I think Constant Springs, if I'm remembering correctly. But I think it's Constant Spring, and we had a neighbor, and they were Chinese Jamaican. Now, Paul, his name was Paul. He's Jamaican. His parents, of course, were immigrants to Jamaica. Again, I knew he looked different, but I could not place what race it was, if you get what I'm saying. Another occasion, I went to spend some time with one of my teachers, who was also a friend of the family's, and the neighbor at that time was white. Kids, again, Jamaican, but the parents migrated, I'm not quite sure from where. Again, saw them, but did not know color-wise. And I know a lot of people might say, really? You're in a predominantly black country, you've been traveling back and forth to the US, and you didn't see. No, I did not see the color. Honest to God, I did not. And I know some people might find it hard to believe, but I'm telling you my truth, and that's what it is. It's not until I came here permanently at 14, because before then I was just going back and forth for the summertime. And I remember my grandmother was saying to my mom, do you want her to come here and live, because, we could do the paperwork, or come and stay for a little longer, because, it's a better opportunity for her up here in the States. And I came up, and that's when I found out about racism, white, black, Indian, this. In Jamaica, our Indians, we call them coolie. So I think they were the only ones I knew as coolie. That, our Indian, but we call them coolie. But to us, they were just still Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? We didn't say a color to them. They were just Jamaicans. So anyways, yes, that's when I found out about racism, is when I came to the U.S. I had no clue, even though I had Chinese neighbors and a white neighbor at one point, no clue what racism was until I came to America, which leads me to believe, after all these years, I've been in the country now for over 30 years and everything like that. So, today, we're in 2025 now, New Year just started, 25 days ago, 24 days ago. And I'm realizing now Donald Trump is the president. And I'm realizing with racism, even before Donald Trump, back in my teens and stuff like that, 13, 14, 15, I wasn't thinking of it much, but now I'm thinking of it more to see, why does the world dislike black people? That's one of my questions, is like, why does the world, and I don't like using the word hate, H-A-T-E, I don't, but I'm just going to say it because that's how social media, the media make you feel, is that the world hates black people. And with that being said, I'm also wondering if the world, their views on the hatred of black people, if they got it from here in America. If because America only shows negativity about the black race, which in America, it's African American, is that what the world use as proof to say that, well, if these people come to our country, the way they act in America, this is the way they're going to act in our country. So if America treats them like that because that's how they're portrayed as violent criminals and rapists and robbers and just no good, then whenever a black person from any region of the world will just generalize and say that all of them are like that because it started in America. And I'm sad to say that's what I'm thinking. I know some people might say, what about England? Maybe it came from England, but I don't know the history of England. I'm familiar with the history of the United States as far as it comes to slavery, but for England and their history with blackness, that I don't know. Any other country that has black people in it that's not a predominantly black country, I'm not quite sure the hatred for their blacks in that country, how it developed. And again, I'm saying with every other country, their hate for blacks, I think, developed by what they've seen in America, what they've watched on TV, and I think that's how the world gets their hate. So I'm going to do 20 minutes on this because I don't want to drag too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those people, like, if you don't get to the point, I'm like, oh, Jesus. But anyways, yes. So as I said, and then also, I'm not going to go in order. I'm just going to speak on, the different thing in and out. So you'll hear me go in and out. There's no specific order to say what I'm saying. So also, I realized that a lot of other minority groups in the US, when they should be feeling the same way Black people are feeling, African Americans are feeling, they don't get that same hatred the way Blacks do. They get it in some form, but not as bad as the Black people of America. So I'm just going to say Black people just to generalize everyone. I usually say like African American, so you know that this is a Black person in America, and then I would say Black to anyone who was not African American. But right now, I don't want to go African American / Black in everything that I'm saying, so I'm just going to use Black because this is a generalized thing for all Black people, since I'm feeling like it's all Black people. And now, I can understand if you go to a country like China or Japan, countries that are predominantly that culture, that race, and if they see a Black person, they will be not amused. They would be, what's the word? See, now I can't even, not amused. They would just be staring because they want to know. They've never seen that person before. And to me, in those countries, a lot of their programs, they don't show diversity in their programs or what they're watching. Why? Because their country is not a diverse country. So, of course, when they see a person of a different shade, color, features come into the country, you're going to draw attention. With that being said, though, again, in those countries, Black people are not looked upon kindly. When you watch some of the social media videos, you can see it and they'll tell you. But guess what? If it was a white person, they are more accepted because, again, why? I think cultures like those, like the Asian culture, Indian, because they're Asian, if you get what I'm saying, the Spanish culture, anything like that, they're told, if you cannot stay within your own culture or race, you better not go Black. You better go white if you want to have a better life, or if you want to be looked at in a positive way. And that's what I'm thinking, that all those cultures tell them, if you run into a Black person, they are the worst. Don't talk to them. Don't be friends. They're going to steal from you. They're going to beat you up. They're going to do all this and that. And it's sad to live in a world, to grow thinking that way. And when I'm looking for more positivity to stretch me out of that mindset, I'm not seeing it. Why? Because it's not on the forefront. To me, it's like America just wants to show negativity on the news and on social media. You might see 1 and 2 videos where you have an interracial couple and they go somewhere and they're accepted. But guess what? It's a video. It's 30, 40 minutes long. So you don't know what the person is going through. I just know that when you are not Black and you had to step out of your race or culture, I'm sure you're told to not go Black because that's negative. People won't look at you the same way. Just like if you're a white person or Spanish or Asian and you sleep with a Black man, it's like they're saying, oh, nobody else in your race is going to want you because you're nasty, you're tainted because you slept with a Black man. Just stuff like that. It plays with people's mind. And in the US now, you have the Indians. There are a lot of Indians that we know, like famous Indians. You have Priyanka Chopra. You have what's her name, Mindy Kaling. And I realized that all the successful Indians in the US, I can only speak on entertainment because we see them out there. They are all married to white men. The females are all married to white men. The Indian male, we don't have a much of them in television. And I think even with them too, it's white women. So I'm like, yes, I'm sure they're told, look, if you can't go with your fellow Indians, then make sure you go white, not black. And I get you might have people listening is like, oh my God, she's ridiculous. That's not true. But sometimes on social media, if I see where someone would comment, I would go in to ask that person, like with this, what's his name, Vivek Ramaswamy or something like that. People are clowning him because he came out like, "Oh, I'm Indian and I'm white with the white people. They like me." But they made him know that, look, we only want to use you to get into stuff, but then you're done, and they kicked him out basically. So for people like that to come, especially even though he's American born, his parents are immigrants, and to see that you come into a country where black people was already established. America belongs to the Native Americans. They don't get any credit, anything like that. But to know that you have your Native Americans, then your black people who come in to help build the country, and here you come from India or wherever, wanting to come into this country and to talk down to black people, or to think that black people are just bad people and everything again. It's because of what they've seen in the news. And I think the black community also needs to take in account that they do add some of those stereotypes to what people are saying. Like for me personally, down here in the South, as I said, I know slavery, but down here, it's like if you eat watermelon and fried chicken, then you have to be black. When the southern thing is, even white people, southern white people, example, Honey Boo Boo, they love watermelon and fried chicken, but when they do it, it's not seen as racist or racism. But if a black person does it, it's race or racism. Why? Because given the history of the racism in this country, they still can't get past that black people can eat watermelon and fried chicken without some underlying racial tone to it. I don't like watermelon, and I'm not saying I don't like it because, oh my God, if they see me eating watermelon, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, she really black, because I just don't like watermelon. I love fried chicken. Everybody loves fried chicken. In the US, they have a sport called football that they play with their hands. And on Super Bowl Sundays, a lot of places sell chicken wings, and it's not only barbecue or lemon pepper chicken wings. They sell fried chicken wings also, and majority of the watchers of these NFL games are white Americans, male, and they're eating their fried chicken wings. But guess what? There's no stigma on it for them. But if a black person says they want to go get fried chicken and eat fried chicken, oh my God, it's from the master, from the slavery days. And yes, black comedians, they perpetrate that kind of slackness also. It's like they don't want to move out of that, to know that that is something. Every time you tell a joke, it's like you're still bringing up something that is not irrelevant in that sense. Guess what? We will never, ever know what it's like to be a slave. We will never, ever know what it's like to get whipped. So for people to constantly say, oh, we went through this. No, you did not go through it. Your ancestors might have went through it, but you know. So yes, it's coming down to the 20 minutes. So I don't want to go over 20. I have to come back another time. But tell me, do you think that America is the country that is out there making the world hate black people because of what is shown and seen in America, and told to people in America that if you're black, you're no good? If you go to another country and they see you as a black person, they're like, oh my God, this person is coming to our country to rob, kill us, take our women, do this, that. And then I'll do another video to continue on because, I want somebody who can really talk with me and not judge or be nasty in return. Because, it affects not just me. I'm sure there are others too. Thank you for listening.